Welcome to Because It's Fun, a podcast about hobbies. I am your host, Connor Dempsey. I'm here to talk to people about what lights them up creatively. I'm here to talk to people about what helps them be their most authentic selves and express themselves most creatively, the thing that they want to do most in their free time, the thing that they would do for free if money were no object, their vocation, their calling, their hobby. We're here to talk about it, and I'm excited to share it with you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. If you listened to the first episode, then you are now back. If this is your first experience with the show, you can listen to this one if you don't want to hear me talk about writing. But in the first episode, I kind of talk about my own personal love of my hobby, writing, and I also essentially walk you through the format of the show by doing that. But if you're here for the guest, then I won't waste your time. My guest today is Erin Vaughn. I've known Erin for a few years, and her hobby, as she will point out, is diamond painting, which I didn't even know was a thing. I thought she was joking when she said it, but it's a real thing, and it's fascinating. She really sells you on the idea of doing this as a hobby. We're going to talk about a few things in this. We're going to talk about, the idea of doing work on your own terms and not for clients, the difference between doing art for a living and doing art for yourself. Big difference, in case you didn't know. Kind of go down a rabbit hole of old art projects that we're still proud of. Didn't expect it, but I realized that half the stuff I did in school, in art school, I'm retroactively proud of, even if I was miserable doing it. And she has some impressive stories as well. And we end up talking about parenting at a certain point. It's I'll go ahead and tell you, that's a recurring theme on this show, because a lot of what I ask guests about is, how do you make time for this? The ones who have kids, it inevitably turns into a discussion about children. So please enjoy Erin Vaughn. Hi, Erin.
Hello.
So we're here to talk about hobbies. So tell me, what is your hobby of choice?
Okay, so today I am going to talk about diamond painting. Are you aware of what that is?
No.
Okay. It's like a craft. It's a crafting situation.
Okay.
There is a lot available out there. You can get it on Amazon or, specific websites, but it's basically little pieces of artwork that are pre-designed, kind of similar to a paint by number.
Mm-hmm.
And you take these little acrylic or plastic chips that are colored, and it has like an adhesive sticky part, and you just stick them on in the pattern.
Okay.
And then when you're done, it's kind of like a cross stitch, but not fabric.
Right.
And it's sparkly. I actually have some in my shop.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures.
I don't know if you've ever noticed in my shop where the little fruits.
Oh.
Yeah, those little things.
Oh, okay. It didn't even cross my mind that to think about the material or how or who made it. I'm looking at pictures online now, and it's like you're right. It looks a lot like a cross stitch fabric, but it's almost like it's just a lot harder, it seems.
But maybe a lot easier. Paint by number can be complicated. This is easy. I like these. I don't do the ones that are like huge, like 18 by 24s. I do the ones that are more like 4 by 6s because they are completable in one session or 2 sessions.
It's like the people who do like those 10,000 piece puzzles, but they have to have have to have it on a towel and
like a lid so that the kids and cats don't destroy them. Yeah. See, same situation, because these are like tiny little pieces, so they can get lost really easy.
Yeah, no kidding. Where do you do them?
I usually just set up like on my table, at my kitchen table.
But you do it in one sitting, so you don't have to delay dinner or anything.
Right. I have a little briefcase like thing, and it's got all the little gems separated by color. And, they have a corresponding number that's printed on the paper.
Oh.
So it's very organizing heavy, which delights me.
Yeah. It's like that's half the fun of it, is just having the materials laid out and ready to use.
Indeed.
Okay. So when did you first start doing diamond painting?
I think I started, it wasn't that long ago. It was probably 2022 when I did my first one.
Okay.
I, of course, have had previous hobbies like cross stitch. I'll do that. But that is very labor intensive, and it's hard to pick up and put down and not go complete a task because those take so long.
Mhm.
So, of course, marketing. They have great marketing. The brand I use is Paint Gem, and they have amazing like viral videos that I saw, and then I was like, that is for me. And they're very inexpensive. I bought a kit, and I've gifted a bunch of them to like my kids, my friends' kids, and they love them too.
Okay, so anyone can do this if they choose.
Yeah. I feel like you have to be the right kind of person. I have my friends, some of my friends have said that this craft seems like torture.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't cater like, to their brains.
Right.
Interesting.
So I was like, okay, I understand. But my best friend has a 15-year-old daughter who is totally down.
Okay.
And I have a 16-year-old son who had a birthday party. And of course, he invited his friends, and they all invited their girlfriends. So all the boys are playing video games, and the girls are all sitting there on their phones being ignored. And I was like, I'm going to bring out the diamond painting because I know these girls will love it. And they did.
Oh.
So we got to, like, I had some unused projects, and we just whipped them out, and they were like all about it.
Wow. Did the boys do it too, or just the girls?
Oh no, no, they're the group that thinks it's torture.
Gotcha. Video games are pretty cool, so I understand.
Yeah, they were all cackle laughing, and we were all just quiet doing our little crafts.
So you just kind of got pulled into this by like a video in your algorithm?
Yeah. and it appealed to me, and I've done crafts before, and crafting can get really expensive really fast. And sometimes it takes a lot of setup, a lot of supplies, but this, you can do very minimal. Like, in fact, the kit comes with everything you need. So you just buy the one thing. Now, of course, you can upgrade certain supplies, but I mean, you wouldn't have to. It'd be a good little sample to see if it's for you or not.
I do appreciate anything that sort of comes like ready to go like that. No extra purchases required. Here's all the materials, all the adhesives, and if you want to nerd out and use your own pair of tools or whatever, then you can.
Crafting is the luxury, right? Like you have to have the time, you have to have the money. Yeah. The mental space, and you have to be left alone. And that's rare. Yeah. So anytime a kit can just be like, here you go. Yeah. When you get the time, just open this up and do your thing. Yeah.
And a low barrier to entry, basically.
Right.
So what does this hobby do for you? Like, is it kind of just get you in a low pressure like zone, like you're doing something creative, but it's not something you have to do?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it, because I love anything that is like art, tedious. Like I would line up glitter if I could. Like, I don't know why that appeals to me, but this is a little bit more productive than that. It appeals to me because whenever I do have the luxury of indulging in this craft, it kind of quiets your brain. I get to finish a project. So, I'm a person who thrives on a check mark.
Yes.
So I get done. And it kind of puts you in a flow state. Okay. So almost like meditation, because you are so hyper-focused on, let me do all the twos. Yeah. All right. Now, and keeping everything, that's something that I love to do.
And you're using your hands too, so it's engaging your motor functions too. It's not like reading or something where like that can be the same type of thing, but it's like you have to think and do.
Yes. Yes, I do. Like I said, I don't know what it is. I like tedious things.
Yeah.
And additionally, it's like I get to create art without the pressure of creating the art. Like
Yeah.
it's done for me. That's what I do in my job is I have a high pressure, I guess you would call me a commissioned artist.
Yes.
So I have to, use my brain and think of designs. So this is a way to indulge in doing art, but giving my brain a break and just do.
Being dialed in and focused that you're not really getting anywhere else, or it is hard to get on demand anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because there's no external pressure to do it.
Right. And it's also nice to do art, not for money.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's another thing. I think I was like, I love creating something, but without that business attached to it.
Yeah.
Because, so like I'm an artist, but since I have to, work for a client, that is not my art.
Yeah.
I love creating my own art, but that's even more time consuming and taxing than something like this. So this kind of just hits the bases when I have the chance.
Yes. Yeah. I relate. That's kind of that's these podcasts are that for me. It's like if I had to do this for specific criteria other than my own, it would zap the fun out of it, and it becomes just more work. And just because I can do it doesn't mean that I necessarily would do it if it weren't just because I want to do it, and I want to do it the way I want to do it and when I want to do it.
Right.
So you kind of talked about how it affects your mood. It's de-stressing. It's good to kind of get something start to finish. That's huge. I think that the being able to finish it in one sitting, just being able to finish and go, cool, I did something. Like if nothing else today, I did something.
Yeah, and it's something I like. That's why I pin them up to my wall.
Yeah,
I
and you get to keep them.
Like I did that,
and
that's why it gets to remind me of that time I had time to myself.
Yes,
which is rare.
Yeah,
so it's nice. I couldn't ask for a better hobby.
Some people start something, and then through the hobby, they learn about themselves. Like, oh wow, I love woodworking. But most people, I would think, start a hobby because they know what they want to do. There's no discovery. It's just I know what I want to do, and this thing allows me to do it. And it sounds like that's more your speed is, I'm artistic and I want to do it on my own terms. And this lets me do that.
It almost feels selfish and indulgent. And, sometimes you have to take that time for yourself. And that's what that is for me. That's my little guilty pleasure.
You touched on this a second ago, but tell us what you do for work.
I'm a tattoo artist.
You are.
So I've been doing that for 20 years.
Yes.
It's been a long time. I've tattooed you.
You've all of my tattoos. Yes.
Yeah. And many, many people of Mobile, Alabama and surrounding areas.
And the greater Mobile, the tri-state area.
Yeah.
I guess you did sort of talk about this too. Like this hobby balances that out in a way because everything that you like about your job is still in your job. And then everything that is commerce in your job is removed. The art is still there. The tedium is there.
Correct. Yeah.
But this isn't for a client. It's not for money. There's no deadline. There's no stress. There's no obligation.
Right. No pressure. And, it feels good to feel that every once in a while, I love my job. I couldn't have asked for a better job, and I'm very blessed to get to do what I do for a living and, support my family.
Yes.
But like I said, it's pressure. It's serious business, and I do take it seriously. So I put a lot of effort into it. So a lot of people ask me, hey, do you paint on the side? Or, hey, do you do this or that kind of art? And, yes, I wish I could, but they don't understand how high pressure and tedious that is. Like to do a painting, I used to watercolor, and I still love to water on the side. I love doing that. Is so much that it's hard to even get started with that kind of like hobby these days. When I was younger, I had a little bit more time before I had children.
Yeah.
But to create good art, you have to be left alone for hours on end, because it's like there's a warm-up period, and then there's a flow state, and then you have to like come out of that flow state, and it's hard. But if you have someone interrupting you, you never get there, and then you become extremely frustrated. So like I said, this is just low stakes. I mean, if I have to stop, whatever, I'll put it away and come back to it, and no stress.
So yeah, I was going to ask, like, what happens to you when you don't get to do this for a while? Like if you can't, I guess it's a combo question, because like, when do you do this? Like, how do you make time for this? And does it feel hard to protect that time? And if you don't get that time, what does that do now that this is part of your life?
Maybe once every 2 months, I'll sit down and do one. Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, oh, this Sunday is a light Sunday. I'll plan to do it.
Yeah.
And, pull it out, get it ready. And then I'll just kind of do it. If I don't get to it, but like I said, it's a very low stakes thing. So it doesn't affect me if I don't get it done.
Yeah.
But I always will be like, I'm ready to do one. So it gives me something to look forward to.
Yeah, it sounds great. Is there any part of this hobby that is hard about doing it? Like, is it, I guess, for so far, it doesn't sound like it's difficult to get materials or anything. Like, it seems pretty low stress to me.
Very low stress, yes. I guess just deciding which kit to buy. Like, I use Paint Gym specifically.
Yeah.
That's the brand. And they sell them in like kits of 12. And so they have like holiday kits, mass kits, food, just different topics. And then leaves. I want the leaf one. So I want to buy them all, and I just buy them one at a time. And I am a completionist, so I have to finish everything in the box before I buy a new box. So, first world problems.
Have you ever hit a wall with it or burned down on it? Or you sound like you've kept it pretty manageable and contained to where it is done when it's needed.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get to do it. Like, I don't oversaturate myself with it.
Yeah.
So every time it's still a pleasure.
Yeah.
I think if I ever were to get to that point, I'd probably just jump to a new hobby or craft.
Yeah.
I've done some other ones before, and I'll, go back and forth, but this is my main one for this part of my life.
Are there professional diamond painters?
I wouldn't think so, because it's kind of like trash art, I guess. It's plastic and cheap paper, and I don't see a market for it.
Sure.
So no, I don't think I could market these. But you know what? I've had a bunch of people comment saying, "Oh, I love those things." Nobody said they'd buy one, but maybe I'll buy one and do a craft night. That would be fun.
Ooh.
That would be where I would want to expand. I'd have to find some like-minded individuals who want to sit at a table and be quiet and craft.
Yeah, everyone shut up. It's like
everybody focus.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that tribe, though. They all want to talk or, do stuff.
I feel like it's only something you could you could rope your husband into, because like if your spouse is probably one of the only people that you can like probably sit there, like that cliche of like just sitting in the room and reading and like you're both there, but you're not talking. But I guess that depends on the partner. Right. I don't know if he'd get bored.
Right.
There's not enough going on.
I have a best friend who would do this. Like, that's what we dream about doing when we're little old grannies is, living at her big old house and doing crafts
all the time.
Long.
Yeah, that was my next question was, is there a dream version of this? And it sounds like the dream version is only do this.
Yeah. Yes. We have so many ideas. Like we would be the queens of those like kitschy grandma crafts, cross stitch, paint gems, holiday paintings, wreaths, just crafts.
Yeah. That sounds idyllic. I love that. That's kind of how I would feel. Like I would want to get to a point where, now I only get to do this. And like, assuming that I'm retired or filthy rich or something. Like I have the luxury of just sitting around and doing only the thing.
I hope that my eyesight and my dexterity is maintained like as I get older, because all the things I like to do are microscopic, tiny things. So I need all of that to stay intact. So that I can live my dreams.
Do you wear glasses? I've never seen you in glasses.
No, I don't wear glasses. Nope. Oh. I was blessed with good eyesight.
Yeah.
And I hope it never goes away.
Yeah. But I guess if it does, you can keep doing the thing and just wear glasses.
Yeah. And just get some glasses. Now I do require much more light than I used to when I was younger. And I noticed this with my son. He's in there, living in a cave with his lights off. And I'm like, turn the lights on so you can see. And he's like, I'm fine.
They don't need it. They got these young, giant pupils.
He won't wear sunglasses. Yes. The caveman eyes.
Yeah.
I don't have those. I have noticed that my fingers don't maybe pinch tiny stuff as well as they used to, but I'm still making it work.
What's that about?
The arthritis from tattooing.
I guess so. You can't grip stuff anymore?
I can grip. It's just the fine, needles, putting thread through. I have to use assistive devices when I used to could just throw it through. So I'm noticing very fine changes now.
I'm getting some of that, and I don't even use my hands remotely as much as you, but I'll be trying to tie my kids' shoes and it's just taking me a long time. And I'm like, I don't understand why.
Right. I think it's just an age thing. I try to do some physical therapy, but I think some of that's just unavoidable.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So do your little exercise.
I guess so.
Little figure eights and your
I either need
wiggly fingers.
Take up this hobby or not take it up, depending on if my hands need more or less use to avoid that.
I bet you this would be really good for cognitive exercises.
Oh yeah.
As long as you can stay doing this stuff, it'll keep your brain busy, because it's you have to plan and do and executive functioning.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I made paper figures, and that was a big, I did it for hours and hours a day, days a week. All I needed was a shitload of printer paper and crayons and tape and scissors. And I would make torso, arms, head, neck, hair, legs. And I laid them out. I would bend them at the knee so they could kind of crouch, and I would tape the arms onto the back and then bend them trifolds so they could come forward but also be at the side. And I just made all my toys, and that's just a bunch of watching cartoons, seeing a cast of characters, and being I think I want to. I've keyed in enough on these character designs that I think I can draw them half decently. I'll give them different outfits and stuff. All you gotta do is untape their head and put their head on a different body. Yeah. So you have a bunch of headless alternates.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's a 2D medium, but you're making 3D
basically
objects.
Yeah. But if you make them so big that it's okay, well, now they're kind of hard to actually play with, without their limbs just kind of limply dangling. Yeah. But if you make them too small, it's really hard to get the proportions right and to get face details right. But yeah, that was that was my version of this when I was a kid. I did it for years. But
you got to get the mental space and the time and the supplies and all the things.
Right. Exactly.
I remember in college, we were tasked with making a sculpture, but out of tape, masking tape.
Oh.
So that was fun.
Only out of tape?
Yeah, only tape. You can't use any structural things, just tape.
So you're just making a crumpled mass for a while, and then you're actually giving it shape and edge. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. And it's you can really manipulate masking tape pretty, I haven't done it since college, but I framed that. It was a high heel shoe too. So it was awesome. It's a high heel Mary Jane.
Out of tape?
It looked amazing. Out of tape. It finally collapsed after years. I'm sure I have pictures of it somewhere, but
that's hard because you're just making layers and layers and layers to make something just have structural ability.
I think what I did was I folded the tape in half and kind of made a scaffolding.
Yeah.
And then started
just wrapping it.
I don't even know how I did it. Yeah. And we also had to make a piece of clothing out of 50 items of one thing. So like the same thing to make an item of clothing. And that was my other favorite thing. And I made a dress out of tires. Like I sliced tires.
Wow.
Because I like to do things difficult.
Where'd you find enough tires?
I still have like old tires from a tire shop. I just went there and said, "Hey, you got some old tires that you can't put on a car?" And they just gave me 3.
Wow.
to have. And I made a dress out of it. And like I said, I'm surprised I have fingers because I used a heavy duty box cutter. It's really hard because they have metal strands in them. Yeah.
Wow.
I wish I could go back to college and just do art classes. Like that's where I thrive because it's a prompt. And just do.
Yeah. We had to do for 3D design at my college because I went to an art college and we had to make a ton of stuff. And like one of the things that we had to make was using like materials to make 3D clothing. And so I made a bomber jacket. And so like I had like the wire to sort of be the the arm, the scaffolding, the main seams of it. And then I bought like thin mesh that I wrapped and then secured to it. And it had an opening, and I bought like that fluffy neck material to be the bomber collar. And then I spray painted that bitch brown and it looked like a bomber jacket. I did a pretty damn good job. I was surprised because I hated that class. I was not good at drawing 2D, any of the design classes that were, I'm a film student. Right. But you have to do a certain amount of these classes because they're prerequisites. And it's just like, wow, this does not play to my strengths at all. But I got it done.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I got nervous about making clothing because my mother and my sister sew, and my sister is a seamstress for her job.
Okay.
So they have that talent. I did not get that talent, like the fabric planning, plotting. I never studied any of that. So like, I think like, how do you make a dress? I went with a simple tube dress.
Yeah. I don't
easy.
I don't understand how people do that either. That's crazy to me. I know plenty of people who like make their kids clothes and I'm like, I don't, or like make their own clothes, make dresses. And it's bonkers to me. I guess it's just a lot of measuring, right? I mean, like it has to start with just a bunch of math.
Yeah. And just shapes. And
still,
I don't understand it. It's magic.
Yeah.
She made me a Chun-Li costume for Halloween a few years ago.
Street Fighter.
And it was amazing. Like, yeah.
Wow.
That was the last time I dressed up for real. But
yeah. Wow.
It's an amazing costume. And she did such a great job. But like, she takes like, I think she calls it muslin, just like a cheap cloth. And that's what she like uses to cut the pattern. And then she makes a mock-up and make sure that fits. And then when she, confirms that, then she takes that apart and then cuts the pieces out. It's like a puzzle.
Interesting. Jeez. Yeah. See, you'd want to talk about an expensive habit. Like maybe cloth isn't that expensive, but like I feel like that's an expensive habit. But I suppose if you get to wear it and you're instead of buying clothes, you're just making them yourself. It must be it sustains itself. It pays for itself, right?
Right. If you have the time.
If you have the time.
Right. Time is the valuable part.
I know. Wow. And like I sound old every time like I marvel at that, but it really is true.
Yeah, it really is. And it's fleeting and it goes and it never comes back.
Yeah, I guess the last thing I would ask you is just like if someone has listened to this and they're like on the fence about trying it, as if we haven't made it pretty clear what's great about it. I mean, what would you do? What would you do to nudge them over the fence?
I would say buy a small kit, and if you don't like it, you can give it to me.
Yeah, I mean, like what's like a starter kit cost roughly?
The ones on paintgem.com, they are about $30. I've seen some for $40. Now that is not the cheapest. You can get some dirt cheap ones on Amazon. Now, I believe the quality of those is a little less. Like I ordered like one that was like a coaster kit for Halloween. And the adhesive doesn't quite line up with the picture.
Yeah.
And then the little plastic pieces might not be uniform. So you can get them cheaper, but if you spend just that mid-range on the quality, you'll be a lot happier. It'll be a lot easier. The main thing with art supplies is if you go the cheapest route, it's going to be very frustrating and hard, and you will not like the result. And you'll be like, why don't I like art?
Yeah.
But if you buy higher, it's just like mayonnaise. Like, don't buy off-brand mayonnaise. Don't buy the higher quality art. But, for $35 to $45, you get like 12 little tiny canvases. So you can even split them up, buy them for your kids. They're easy. It's about an hour and a half for each one.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
That's great. Yeah. It's a pretty easy entry. Like, you could buy, like you said, a dozen of those kits, host a craft night, and see if other people like them. And then if you're like really into it, then you just buy the next dozen for yourself. And
exactly. Yeah. They have like those huge ones, and, people make really nice content with those. Like, I enjoy watching the content too, just like little videos of people sticking the things. I don't know if it might show up on your algorithm now that I've said it.
Yeah. Yep.
But just watching them put all the colors, and they have like these little attachments where you can do multiple ones at a time. So you don't have to do one by one. You could do 6 by 6 if you have like a large group of the same color. Oh. I don't like doing that. I found that that's too hard to line them all up perfectly. So I do one by one.
Okay.
But of course, I like tedious. I'm not trying to rush through it.
Yeah, it's not the point.
It's not the point. I also don't do those large ones, and they're beautiful, but I just can't see sitting there for 4 or 5 weeks at a time
working towards the one.
I do like management, organizing and management, but that just seems like too much.
Again, no one's paying you to do it, so it's like now it's crossing over into I don't know if I like that part.
You're right.
I like the fun part, but the part that isn't fun, I'm not going to do it for free.
You're right. You could do them and then give them out for like gifts and stuff, because they make like really cool little desk ornaments and stuff. So like, there's another reason to like buy one, and then you have 12 gifts for $40.
Oh, and that's an idea.
They're semi-handmade.
Sure. Yeah. Well, they are, with a little asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
Assembled, basically.
They're assembled by me.
Yeah, but not quite assembled. It took craft. It took skill. It's not just like locking the thing into the thing.
Yeah. I don't know if I would appreciate someone giving me a put together Lego sculpture.
Sure. Yeah.
But I would probably like it if someone said, I made this diamond painting for you. In fact, I had a client make one for me.
Really?
Yeah, she, her and her husband were stationed in Pensacola, and I did a whole sleeve on her. And then she knew I like diamond painting, and she did them too. Yeah. And so she went ham on it. She made me a shadow box. The background was the diamond painting, like a gradient from gold to black to silver. And then she made tiny little paper flowers in a gradient and lined the inside of the shadow box, and then used her Cricut to write my name on the glass.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, I love that gift.
Wow.
Because it takes time and energy, and it was for me specifically. I love that gift.
Is that in your shop? Is that in your shop?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hanging on the wall, and it's probably something you would miss unless I pointed it out to you.
I need to pay more attention to my surroundings.
Well, I don't know. When you come to me, you got to get locked in, ready for pain.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just walking in thinking about myself as usual.
Hey, it's your time.
I guess so.
It's not. Look at my stuff time. I don't have a lot of like tchotchkes and things on the wall, because I don't, like, a lot of tattoo shops do have a lot of, I call them like Cracker Barrel walls. They put too much shit on the wall.
Yeah.
and that's fine. And I've heard a lot of people say, I do like that because you have stuff to look at, but I don't like it because it's too much stuff to look at and too much stuff to dust. I was gonna say, like, this desk, just the fact that the amount of wires that are on my desk just makes it hard enough to keep this thing dust free. And this is a pretty tidy desk, except for all the goddamn wires. But wire management.
If you had like a big like moose head in your shop, and spider webs, you're just asking for spiders and bugs.
But I don't have anybody to, be my minion and dust the shop. It's me.
Yeah, that's true.
I minimized my chores where I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have, I mean, is your home more like wall cluttered than your shop with this kind of stuff, or
No,
for the same reason? Because
for the
then you have
same
to clean
reason.
it.
I know, like when you come in my house, it's not decorated at all. Like it's just a place we live.
Yep.
My husband is the home husband, and we're just maintaining a clean home.
Making sure that everything
decorated.
works. Yeah. This office, as I was telling you at the top of the show, like this office is now the nicest room in the house because I just painted it, and it has bookshelves and like a very red couch just off camera here. and it looks, and the furniture matches, but the rest of the house is just the house.
Yeah. It's like when you have little kids and you're just trying to make it day to day. Like I don't understand how my dad and stepmother, they have a very curated house, and it's always pristine. And like I love a clean house.
Yeah,
we're clean, but like nothing matches. Like we have what we have and haven't replaced furniture, and we just we use stuff until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people are probably in that same boat too. I certainly am. I mean, like there's not really anything in the house worth replacing while I still have kids who are potty training and like, who aren't 100% good at eating. And like there's too much potential. I mean, my cat threw up on the rug the other day. Like that didn't see that coming either. I mean, like it just some stuff is just not worth replacing unless it can't function.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I do like kind of get a little like, I wish we need to do this, and my husband's like, calm down. One day the house will be empty.
Yeah.
And you'll have all the time in the world to do that.
Yeah.
So
I tell myself one day when I'm not paying to feed my children, I will have the time and money to actually be like, okay, let's think about paintings. Let's get art on the wall. Let's get better curtains. Like these curtains behind me suck, but I'm not getting new ones.
Nope. They work.
They do work.
Yep. Just might not be your preference.
Even though now I keep them basically open because I just got this cat tree. So like the cat likes to sit there and look out the window. Man. I may as well take the curtains down because they're not doing anything.
Right.
They're just framing the window like a nice head of hair.
Right. Sideburns.
Yeah. But wow. Okay, Erin. Well, this has been enlightening. I had never heard of diamond painting before.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't tell you what it was whenever we saw each other this weekend.
I would have Googled it and I would have had a leg up a little bit. And I just, it's so, I as soon as you said it, I thought you were joking because I was like, that doesn't sound like a real thing.
Right. Because I mean, what it sounds like is maybe sparkly paint, which that is a thing. They do have like really sparkly watercolor, which I see a lot of that, and I kind of want that, but that's a whole nother avenue that I can't go down right now.
No.
But yeah, and I like glitter too, but glitter's not allowed in the house for reasons, but this gives me my sparkly things to look at without, being everywhere.
You can't have glitter in your house?
I don't prefer to have glitter in my house because, if you spill it,
it's very messy. Yeah.
It's the herpes of art supplies. You'll never get rid of it.
Of course. Yeah. It gets on everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Once it's there forever.
I thought maybe your husband was allergic to glitter or something.
No, glitter is actually very bad. Like it's bad for the environment.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know that diamond painting is any better.
Sure.
Because it's plastics and just adhesives and trash.
I can't remember.
Trash art.
I think I don't remember what we were talking about, but like I was talking to my daughter the other day and it dawned on me that like I haven't seen packing peanuts in a while.
Yeah.
And it's just the same reason. It's just, they're not good. They're
not good.
They're bad for the environment. Pets can choke on them. Kids can choke on them.
Right.
They're not biodegradable. And so, and now we would rather just like 3D print very bespoke pieces of cardboard to nestle our belongings in when they're mailed, instead of packing peanuts.
Right.
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast on styrofoam. And
oh God. Yeah.
That was enlightening. And I mean, I knew it was bad, but
Yeah.
I didn't know how bad. And they were like, if you want to learn anything, do not drink coffee out of a styrofoam cup because it leaches chemicals. And it's hot, so don't do it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh geez. And that,
but it's very common, right?
Yeah. And like Tupperware is common. Like I have Tupperware and it's like, I'm not going to buy glassware so like every time my Tupperware, something breaks, I'm secretly happy because I'm one day closer to justifying buying some glass bowls.
Yes,
indeed. To nuke my food in.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nuts. Everything is going to kill us.
Yeah, of course.
But not diamond painting.
Nope. Well, it's good for your soul,
just
not
your
good
hands,
for the environment.
Just your hands and eyeballs.
Yes. I think they did say you could dissolve styrofoam in acetone and it'll just disappear.
What?
However, what do you do with the liquid after it's done, though? So I don't know if that's the answer.
You pour it on your enemies.
Yeah, put it in someone's garden that you don't like.
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Maybe that's how they make glitter. They harden that, and then you just smash it with a hammer like you're making meth.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
I think
just grind
true.
it into a fine dust. We are not here to teach people how to make poison.
Right. Fantasy poisons.
Yeah. That's like that. That's the final episode is my hobby is making poison.
You're like, are you a witch?
Yeah. No, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy who found out how to make poison and I enjoy it. And sometimes I give it to people I don't like.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, an investigator shows up to your door.
Yeah. How do you find time for that? I do it. I do it in the middle of the night. I don't sleep.
Yeah.
I do it after work. Yeah. I have a mild-mannered job. I have a loving family, but at nighttime, I make poison.
See, that'll be another true crime podcast that I wrap my brain with.
That'd be like a last episode twist is this is true crime.
Yeah.
I'm here to spill my guts about all the people I've killed with my poison.
Oh my God.
Yes. All right. Well, I don't know if that's going to make it in. Okay. Well, Erin, this was fascinating. I'm happy you came on to tell me about this. My horizons have been broadened.
Well, I'm excited to hear this, and I'm excited to hear what other people do for their hobbies because, I don't know what it's like for someone who, to me, I associate hobbies with artistic things, but it could probably be tech things. It could be things I don't even know what to think about. So I'm interested to see. I got some interesting submissions. Things that I hadn't even thought of, but all right. Yeah, people are neat, man. Like everyone's got their own little quirk and so many ways, many of which are probably unhealthy, but like some people that extends to their interests. It's like you just find a thing and you're like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And it's interesting that you do that thing. That's why I always ask people what do they do for a living? Cause it's like, what draws someone like you to this hobby? Because sometimes it's yours is very much like your job, but some people's is like, when I'm off work, I don't want to do anything like what I do all day. Right. I want to do something completely different. And then, I feel like if I didn't have an artistic job, my hobby would still be an artistic hobby. Yes. 100%. I wonder if people who cook or cooking could be career or hobby. Yeah. So if you cook, you come home and you build. Building models is still artistic. I don't know. I don't even know what a hobby outside of the art spectrum is. I mean, I guess it's what you define as art because some people like to build stuff, like to build stuff. And so it doesn't feel like art, but it is an art. Like I know a guy who makes custom furniture. That's his hobby. Yeah, that is art. But it's for a lot of people, it's just, cause some people's jobs there's no creativity at all. And so their hobby is that's where I get to do all of that, Right. Some people's jobs are creative. Art. Yeah. Some people get to do exactly what they want for a living. And so their hobby is fairly
opposite. Like it's
Mhm.
very, it's like the other hemisphere of their brain. It's just organizing stuff, you know?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it's not even art. It's just, I like painting, like painting my
Right.
house, like painting rooms. Like I like, no, there's no finished piece. There's nothing to, it's just, I like to complete tasks. You know, some
Yeah.
people like power washing.
Yeah, that I can see why that's satisfying.
Yeah. And it's like, you know,
I
okay.
have one of my clients just power washed my driveway, and it was very hard not to come out here and just stand and watch the process because
I
the
used to
before
do
and
it,
after.
Yeah.
Oof.
I used to work maintenance. And so I ran a power washer all the time. And I can fully say, like, yeah, power washing is pretty cool. You know, it's uncomfortable in a lot of ways, but it is really nice to just blast the dirt off of something and get to immediately see how nice it looks. So
yeah. Especially when you didn't realize how bad it was.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
for my own home.
It also
oh my
looks
gosh.
like once it gets wet and everything's darker, then you really see how bad it looks. And so the contrast between right before and right after it's clean is even more stark, you know?
Oh yeah. I should start asking people what, like, you know, because I talk to people all day, and I'll ask them what their hobbies are. A lot of people's hobbies are reading.
Yeah.
These days. Because I do a lot of like book themed tattoos lately.
Yeah.
So reading has become very popular.
Which is good because, I mean, like now reading has become sort of trendy again, which is great because it's like now it's countercultural to read.
Right.
And so it's like now we're into it. It's like, great. Like whatever gets people reading, you know, even if it's only those, you know, Fourth Wing books or whatever. Like,
oh yeah, that's the tattoos I'm doing. Like, I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm doing a whole sleeve of Throne of Glass, which is the same author. I listened to the audiobook. So, you know, I knew what characters I was doing and trying to get the feel for them. And, you know, I watched all of the Lord of the Rings for you.
Yes.
So I consume a lot of media from my clients, so I understand what's going on.
It was appreciated.
Yeah. And I love high fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, I do read books or audiobooks. I like someone to read to me because I'm always using my hands.
Yeah.
But I like high fantasy books too.
Yeah. It's good to just have an escape. And I mean, and the purpose of fiction, other than just entertainment and escape, is also just like it's how a lot of people kind of exercise and expand their empathy. You know, that's how you, that's really one of the places where you learn most obviously how to literally think about other people and put yourself in their shoes, you know?
Yeah. Or just see how someone else would operate in a situation.
Even more so than in movies, because because in a book you are imagining stuff. And so unless you're doing like a lot of brain power, you're not thinking exactly about how someone looks or sounds visually or sonically. You're just inhabiting their thoughts and what's happening to them, and so everything physical is sort of removed, and so it's easier. And in a movie, people are cast, and so you are looking, and so, you know, if you are inclined to not be empathetic, that's another barrier to sort of putting yourself in their shoes. Books are so good for just saying, like, here's a thing, now imagine that's you, because that's what we do when we read, whether we realize it or not, is we're imagining this is happening to us, you know? And it's good for people's brains to read. If nothing else, that's just because it keeps them from doing things that are like much worse for their brains. But if nothing else, that's how you learn those lessons.
Yeah. It gives you a little escape from life. And I love books.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would like to read some more. I read as much as I can.
You read as much as someone can read to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I try to make a lot of time to read books too, man. I try to read an hour or so every night.
That's dedication.
Yeah, I had
to part of your routine.
I had to make time for it. I was like, I want to do this, and I'm not, it's not getting done. How do I do this? And I just schedule it. It's literally on my calendar. And it's just like, it was just deciding, like, it was like the whole Atomic Habits thing. It wasn't just like, don't try to read X amount of pages a day. Like, start out by saying, I am a person who reads.
Yeah.
And the behavior follows the identity.
Beautiful. You read physical books?
Yes.
It's been such a long time since I've read a physical book. I do want to like try it again.
Yeah.
But I usually consume my books in the car on my way to work.
Yeah.
So on my way to and then on my way from. So it's kind of like a prepare for the day and a wind down from the day. And then when I get home, I start doing my home stuff.
It sort of serves the way that you kind of do things, like right there. It's like, that's the time you have.
Mm-hmm.
And also when you're doing, tedious tasks with your eyes and hands, you can also do the audiobook. If you were reading a book, you couldn't diamond paint at the same time.
Right. You have to, you definitely can't multitask.
You'd have to pick one or the other, but, and so it would come down to, do I want to actually, am I looking to singularly focus on this book, or would I rather listen to it while I am doing something else?
Yeah. Well, I think I kind of want to go back down that road. Just read a little short book, because it's been such a long time where I don't like the people who reading are voice actors, and much like a movie. Yeah. Like sometimes they do all the inflections and they, I remember reading books and being even way more involved, because it's just like you're focused on the words, but then your brain is actually imagining. So there's something else that happens there.
I can't do audiobooks. I do a few. I have a few that I specifically was like, I want to listen to these over and over again while I'm doing stuff. Mm-hmm. None of them are fiction. I have found that I tune out when I am doing other things, because I'm trying to use other parts of my brain. And so I've realized, like, I can't do audiobooks unless I'm sitting still. If I'm sitting still, I may as well.
And then you're like, let me do something.
Yeah. Unless my only free time is when I'm doing idle tasks. Like it's like I'm better off with a physical book and, and doing it that way. And that's
it kind of forces you to like slow down for just a minute.
Yeah. That's the thing. It forces me to sit in one place, breathe, and just do nothing else. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the whole thing.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
We'll do it again.